What song brings you the most nostalgia? Is it a song that you heard all the time while growing up? A song that played on loop on radio stations across America? Or maybe it's a music video that you saw years ago on MTV for any viewers over the age of 20. There's a chance you haven't even heard the song before, or at least don't remember hearing it. Many people undergo this phenomenon and pause to take a step back and just sit down and listen and remember something. But I'm not sure if there's ever been a song, or soundtrack rather, that has caused as much nostalgia for a whole generation of people as, well, the Minecraft soundtrack. The soundtrack for Minecraft is similar to none other, with its soft piano chorus that some way, somehow adds so much life to this placing 100,000 blocks of sand simulator. And if this simple block game's music can create such a feeling, then whoever the composer of it is must be a musical genius, right? Or maybe he was just in the perfect place at the perfect time. Daniel Rosenfield, otherwise known as C418, did not start his music career working with the Minecraft team on the now iconic Minecraft soundtrack. Rather, he had a much smaller start. Daniel was born May 9th, 1989 in East Germany. His father was a goldsmith, which isn't relative to the story, but I just think that that's cool nonetheless. And he has one older brother, Harry Rosenfield, who was also extremely interested in music. Harry actually was the one who introduced Daniel to the art, giving him an extremely early copy of Ableton Live, and telling him that even an idiot can create music with it. Harry also gave Daniel a couple of Aphex Twin CDs. This style of the Aphex Twins would inspire Daniel to make music in a similar genre, which can be heard all throughout the soundtrack of Minecraft. The name C418 comes from Harry's musician name, C818. Daniel says that C818 is supposed to mean something cryptic and probably fairly edgy, but it doesn't mean anything. And of course, being the younger brother he was, Daniel took his brother's name and changed it slightly to create the legend of C418. From there, Daniel learned much more about music production and continued to make his music into 2007, where he started a blog to upload songs to weekly. This was also around the time when he became heavily invested in video games, becoming extremely interested in audio design and soundtrack creation. Daniel joined a forum for indie video game development and met a lot of cool creators there, including, of course, Marcus Persson, or Notch. Being a freelance artist, Daniel basically just showed Marcus some of his music and asked if he wanted some. Marcus was working on an indie game, which still needed a lot of sound design time, so he invited Daniel to join right away. And even though the art of Minecraft gives off a retro vibe with its 16 by 16 pixel count and voxel everything, Daniel absolutely did not want to make music sound 8-bit or chiptune as the genre is called. So when Marcus let him have free reign over the music choice of the game, Daniel took it and created the beginnings of what we call today the Minecraft soundtrack. On March 4th, 2011, Daniel's first official album was released. The album, titled Minecraft Volume Alpha, was a mix of 24 songs that were and were not in Minecraft. He says that minimalism is the key in the album because Minecraft is such a large game where the player may feel overwhelmed or even absolutely terrified at times, especially in alpha. Anyways, the soundtrack is designed to be, as Daniel puts it, a pentatonic chill pill to contrast the chaos that is the place 100,000 blocks of sand block game. He specifically asked Marcus not to have the music playing at all times as well. He felt like it would get boring and repetitive, so he asked that it be played randomly 15 to 20 minutes into the game, and so it was. This made the music much more memorable, because instead of hearing it every single time you went into the boss room, you randomly heard it throughout the game, which made it more of a fuzzy, warm memory inside of everybody's minds. And so if C418's music is so heavily renowned, looping in everybody's heads from time to time, then that would mean he's done a great job. Everybody loves his songs along with their game, Minecraft, but that game is always changing and it always needs new music. So C418 is still out there making the same amazing Minecraft music as always, right? Well, sorta. But real fast, before we cover this topic, please, if you're enjoying the video or do enjoy the video, don't forget to subscribe. It helps me out a lot, and you can help subscribe at any time. Thank you. In 2014, the rights to Minecraft were bought by a big boy company named Microsoft. This meant that Mojang no longer had direct control over the game, and that also meant that there was no more control over employees or employee well-being. See, when Minecraft was acquired by Microsoft, it became a big-name corporation game with microtransactions and slightly less care from the developers. This was a bummer for Daniel, because the Minecraft soundtrack really was nowhere near to complete. He stated many times that the third volume of Minecraft's music is still being produced, and that there were still so many potential songs that could be created. In 2018, 3 more songs were added to Daniel's Spotify as singles. These 3 songs were the main themes for the underwater sections of the game, being added in 1.13's Aquatic Update, which was a huge addition of features into Minecraft. It isn't known yet if these songs will be part of the third album in Minecraft's lineup, or if there will ever be a true third album. Those songs weren't the only media he produced for the Aquatic Update either, working on much more of the sound design too. Long story short, the Aquatic Update was a lot of work for Daniel, and this put a lot of stress on him throughout production of it. And that's why in 2019 through 2020, during the creation of the Nether update, Daniel backed out. He stated that Microsoft had just been working him too hard, and he felt overworked and overstressed. So he left the music production all to a new music producer named Lena Raine. Lena Raine has done a great job so far, in my opinion, but something about her new songs just doesn't feel quite the same as C418's. But I'm not sure if that's the nostalgia talk, or if she is really just a different artist. Anyways, C418 is planning to return to Minecraft at some point in time. I wouldn't make any promises though, because he's had some big things happening in his life recently that might postpone the creation of more music for the game. For starters, he's recently moved halfway across the world to the bustling city of Austin, Texas, and he's currently preoccupied being the lead sound designer for a brand new large-scale game dev studio run by Davey Wedren, the maker of the Stanley Parable. Daniel now makes music and sound effects for the studio, and while nothing has been announced yet from the studio, Daniel has created one new album since unofficially leaving the Minecraft team. This album, titled Excursions, was released on September 9th, 2018. It was his first full-length album since 2015, and it's been the last album released so far. Excursions was met with raving fan reviews, but it was only seen by a minor amount of people. So if you enjoy the Minecraft soundtrack or any of Daniel's other work, you should go check Excursions out. Maybe you'll like it. And so that takes us to today. As we've previously discussed, Daniel currently lives in Austin, Texas, and is quite happy there. He now makes music independently and with a large-scale video game producer. That brings up the question, though, of what about Minecraft? Will he ever return? Well, my answer to that question, and this is purely my opinion, is that I believe he will return eventually. The Minecraft soundtrack just wouldn't be the same at all without C418 there to give it that wondrous feeling of life in this sometimes lonely, desolate Minecraft world. I think Microsoft is his main issue. He probably still wouldn't mind working on the game. He just needs, well, good working conditions. For the most part, though, I feel like Daniel has finally settled down. He's married with his own life far away from his peaceful hometown, working with a big-name corporation every day and producing his own music independently. And finally, even if C418 is finished with Minecraft for good, his legacy will never be forgotten, and the impact that he's had on gamers around the world will never change. Anyways, as always, thank you so much for watching, and please, if you enjoyed, don't forget to subscribe. Thank you, and bye.